It was good, bro. How to cope with loneliness on self-improvement. Self-improvement world is lonely. You just gotta accept this fact. You probably did not have a perception of self-improvement being so lonely when you just started out. As time passed by, you become aware of how the modern world, modern technologies just sapping our attention. You become aware of all the bad habits. And now you start seeing your friends do all of them. But the thing is, they did it all along. They always did it. You just was not aware of it. And now suddenly you just see how fucked it all is. How you're saving yourself. You feel like the friendship is not your real friendship anymore with all of these guys. Because they're not on the same path as you are. And for many guys, I know for a fact that for many guys it is very hard to find a person of a similar interest, a person that has similar interests, a person that is on self-improvement. It may seem like there's so many guys doing it, like online it might seem that everyone is doing it, but actually it's, you think that because all I've been doing is being obsessed about self-improvement. And if you think that you were not obsessed about self-improvement, bro, what do you worry about the most? It's probably that thing you didn't do, right? Probably that thing, the one thing you didn't check off on your habit tracker or something. Probably didn't meditate, you stressed the fuck out about it for your whole day, man. But the worst thing is that even though there are people around you, and because you're on self-improvement, you've been improving your talking skills, your communication, like conversational skills. You've read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, and you applied all of these principles, like smile more and being interested in other person and see the world from the other person point of view. You've been doing all of that, and you did improve your conversational skills. But even though there are more people around you and you are getting this fulfillment from social interaction, it still feels lonely because people you are talking with, they're not on the same wavelength as you. Like for me, there are some people that have this subtle feel of them being like on self-improvement, or maybe just normal people that are not on self-improvement, but it's just who they are. Like for example, I know this guy from Hong Kong. He's super hardworking. That's why I feel like a bit of chemistry between us. He's from Hong Kong and he's like 60 years old, bro. And it's like, it's so strange. It's like all these people around you, it doesn't mean anything because they are suffering there, even though they do not understand it. They're hiding from their problems in their little devices. They're just rotting away, and there's no point in saving them because first of all, it's just gonna waste your time, and it's gonna waste their time because they do not actually want to be free, which is strange. Okay, I got a bit sidetracked. So how to actually cope? Well, I have a few strategies that I can share with you that I've personally used, and definitely helped me. It'll definitely help you, bro. First thing is, whenever you just feel this loneliness, right? Just this fucking hit in your heart. This is what you can do whenever you start feeling lonely. And the first thing is always remember why you started. Even though you probably didn't know at the start that you're gonna become this sort of lonely guy who's on self-improvement, there was definitely 100% a reason, this hard rock reason why I started. Like for me personally, it was, I didn't want to be mediocre, right? I just, even though it's so crazy. A few days ago I've realized that I started self-improvement because I didn't want to be average. Like I 100% subconsciously I thought that I don't want to be average, but I wasn't really being honest with myself, and I just bullshitted myself all the time. I was like, oh yeah, I just want to get like this thing a little better. This isn't human nature, like especially for a masculine man. like competition. And of course I wanted to be the best. So yeah, first thing is remember why I started. Very important part. Because it just gives me this motivation. It gives me hope. It gives me vision in the future that everything's good and the effort was not for nothing. Okay, second thing that you want to do is probably the most important thing is to simply face the fact. Like it's so crazy because people might feel lonely, but they would still be scared to face the facts and to accept it. So second thing is to accept the fact that you probably feel lonely, because if you don't, it's even harder. It's even harder to cope with because you actually understand that you're probably lonely, even though you might not be that like aware of it. It's not very conscious thought, but you still know it deep inside. You know it. You're like, shit, I'm lonely. Like this is where your subconscious mind always thinks to you if you are not accepting this fact. So if you just simply face it, like say to yourself, okay, I'm not gonna lie, the past few days have been very hard because I feel fucking lonely. I don't have people around me of similar interest, which just deepens me, leaves me in despair. But I'm gonna keep going. So accept this fact that you are probably lonely. So just face it. Genuinely just face it. Accept this fact and hope for the best. And just work your ass off. Because you're still gonna get fulfillment from approaching your goals, from making progress on your goals, making progress towards your purpose. You're still gonna get fulfillment from that. You're still gonna get your fulfillment from social interactions. So that doesn't really go away. Like it's actually the guys that have this like very close friend that they're on self-improvement with. I do not want to say that they're lucky, but it just happened to be like that. So, and I think it's like one of the best things that can ever happen to you. If that you have your best friend on his side with you on self-improvement, it just lifts your motivation so much. It just makes the whole process much better, I imagine. Because I don't fucking know. And the third thing is, what is it? Oh my god. Remember the end goal. So what I mean by that is, remember that you're doing it for someone else. Remember that you're working to provide for someone. You might think that you're doing this all for yourself, and you're like, oh yes, I'm going to the gym for myself because I want to get jacked and I just want to look good for myself. Like, nah bro, you just want to get some girls, bro. Of course you do. It's a normal thing. Just do not escape it. Stop being a pussy and face the facts. Stop lying to yourself. Be honest. Like, say to yourself that I probably feel lonely. That's why I want to get jacked to get some girls. You know, to feel this feeling. Just to feel the feeling of being loved. No one can blame you for that. No one can blame you for being honest to yourself. Only you can. That's what you are doing. Also what I mean by remember the end goal. It's not the end goal, but it's the future. So remember that you're doing it for someone else. Because many guys I imagine on self-improvement, like you are probably as well, bro. You probably want a very feminine, beautiful wife. Yeah, when you start feeling lonely and you feel like this feeling of loneliness really distracts you from your work, and it just does not allow you to properly do your work. Remember that you're doing it for her. Remember your future wife. Just think how beautiful that would be. You know, working with a thought of in your mind that, oh damn, I have the most beautiful, feminine woman by my side. And remember that you're doing it for her. Remember that you're doing it for your kids, if you want to have kids. But I imagine lots of guys want to have kids because it's our human nature to reproduce. So there's nothing wrong in wanting to have kids because it's in our human nature. We were created to create the little versions of ourselves, to pass on our genes. Like, this is the whole evolutionary explanation. Number one underlying reason that keeps us doing this thing, keeps us trying to fulfill our goals, is just to reproduce. So it makes sense that many guys would just go to clubs to fuck as many girls as possible because their behavior is explained by evolution. Like, our sex cells, our sperm is produced throughout the whole lifetime. It makes sense for us to try to reproduce as much as possible, to try to produce as many little versions of ourselves as possible, to pass on our genes. This is what matters to us the most. But although it makes sense from evolutionary explanation, it is not good. Like, the thing is, I haven't been able to think about this properly. Like, it just contradicts a bit. My belief about relationships dynamic is that there's this one girl that I'm gonna meet, I'm gonna marry her, I'm gonna have children with her. This is gonna be my future wife forever. Well, yeah, forever, like, of course. And this, another belief is that from evolutionary explanation, it makes sense for men to pass on their genes as much as possible, because it makes sense, because we have a lot of sperm. But although I'm never gonna probably change this belief, or I mean, just for now, it feels like it's not gonna change, but maybe it'll change, you never know. But this is my strongly held belief right now, and this doesn't really affect me. It just, I haven't really been able to explain it properly in order to explain it to you guys, to you, bro. No, it makes sense why I would still prefer this, have only my future wife and not like have sex with whores. Because nowadays, it's not like every single woman is like good enough for us. There's so many whores, like, let's face the facts. There are many women that do not have respect for themselves, that go around just fucking every single guy. It's not my thing. I don't want to interact with this kind of woman, you know. I think emotions play a huge role in this. Although you may start thinking stoically and like say that, oh no, fuck our feelings, like that. It's nothing. We shouldn't be influenced by our feelings, but love is like one of the best, probably the best thing human being can experience. One of the best emotions and feelings we can feel, and the feeling of being loved. And imagine you just catch feelings for some whore that you are not compatible with. It's not gonna be good for your mental health. So that's why I prefer to stick with one female that's just compatible with me, and we have a lot in common. We just love each other, and we act as the best addition to our lives, like just the best additions to each other's lives. Like, you see how I said that it's the best addition, because we cannot depend our own lives on someone else. We have our own lives, and it cannot be fully dependent on someone else. It's just gonna make it's gonna make things much more worse. Having a lifetime partner that you are compatible with, and that just everything just comes down so greatly. So a partner that is compatible with you, that is female, that is beautiful, just feminine, and just so loving, and it's the best addition to your life because it's gonna help you strive to your goals. It's gonna challenge you as a man constantly. So it's the best thing that can ever happen to you. It can never happen to any guy or woman because it's masculine and feminine energy, and it's like yin yang, you know. It's masculine man. We crave feminine energy, and because feminine is change. Feminine energy always changes. Feminine energy doesn't really have this masculine stillness, you know, because we have more power and ability to control our thoughts because we just look at them. But feminine has less ability to do that, and that's why they're so dependent on masculine, because whenever their change happens, and if there's this strong masculine man, they can just relax and forget about their change. That's how it connects with each other, and it's beautiful. I believe this can be one of the best life experiences you can possibly have. So remember that you're doing it for her. Do your work, and if you feel lonely, remember that at the end you're not gonna be lonely, and your efforts will pay off. And be happy and be content that it's like that. Accept this fact. Accept the fact that you're lonely and embrace it. Say to yourself, yes, bro, this is if I go through this is gonna be the best thing that would ever happen to me. It'll build my character, and I'll become the masculine man I've always wanted to be. So yeah, 3 things. Remember why you started. Accept the fact that you are lonely. And 3, remember that you're doing it for her, for your future family, maybe even for your family right now. You want to free your family from the chains of the modern world. So that's it. Hope it helps. Subscribe, bro. Help me hit the 100 subs, bro. And yeah, hope it helps. If you thought that I can change anything in this video, just leave some feedback. I would really appreciate it to make better videos. So thank you for watching. Peace.